Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack44227TV to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here with another response/rant video as normal. So yeah, I guess it's quite obvious that I had to do another one of these for sure, but given to the timing of course, when this video goes live, I think it makes sense for me to finally talk about this subject matter now for sure. So yeah, with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 already on the horizon right around tomorrow, by the time this video goes live, yeah, I think it makes sense that for today's video, we should definitely talk about what's been going on very recently with the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 that's already on the horizon as we speak. So yeah, and like I said, probably by the time this video goes live, its official launch will be right around tomorrow as we speak. So yeah, I guess since after I posted my video months ago talking about the reveal of course, the Nintendo Switch 2 for sure, I think it makes sense for now to for me to finally talk about this one for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much time has changed ever since I pretty much did the first video talking about that said subject matter for sure. So I think now would be a good time for me to finally talk about this ahead of its pretty much scheduled release as of now. So yeah. I guess, quite frankly, a lot has changed since after I posted my first video talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 because, well, pretty much of anything, pretty much a long time ago, we did get a Nintendo Direct not too long ago with, of course, some new details and stuff revolving around the Nintendo Switch for sure, or should I say the Nintendo Switch 2 for sure. Of course, it pretty much plays out on what you would expect it would do, hands down. Pretty much some features and stuff that it would actually provide from what I can gather, to even some of the games they've actually confirmed that are going to go out at launch, pretty much with the main console itself for sure. And that's amongst plenty of others that we got coming up for sure. So yeah. Pretty much, if anything, I guess pretty much given to what I've actually seen by far, I'm really looking forward to seeing on how this will do compared to the original Switch, to which, let's face it, it has been well over about 8 years since after the original Switch actually first came out for sure, and now with, of course, pretty much the other versions of the that came out sometime afterwards, like, of course, the Switch Lite and the OLED model, just to name a few, alongside plenty of games and accessories that came along with it. I think 8 years has been a long time for the original Switch, so yeah. Yeah, perhaps I guess pretty much now would be a good time to get a new console in hands down, So yeah, I think that's always pretty much an ongoing theme with, of course, the new generation of gaming for sure. So yeah, if you want to keep video games relevant for sure, on top of some of the good old-fashioned consoles that we all know and love, you gotta bring in something new to the table for sure. So yeah. that's pretty much what I could say, of course, on that front. So yeah. But either way, given to, of course, the Nintendo Switch 2 announcements that got dropped during the latest Nintendo Direct that got dropped some time ago, for sure. I think we seem to be in good hands, of course, on what the new console will have will have to provide for sure. Except there's only one problem that we've all noticed right away, and it's nothing wrong with, of course, the games that we got coming up, nor even anything wrong with, of course, the console. Though I can name quite a few, to be honest, but that's not the real subject with, of course, what I'm talking about. What the real issue with the Nintendo Switch 2 is the price. Yeah. Usually, I think video games and even consoles as well do cost a lot of money for sure, and I guess it's no big surprise that the Nintendo Switch 2 actually has an iffy price for sure. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, what could be wrong with the price for, of course, the Nintendo Switch 2? I mean, surely I think, given to, of course, what it has to provide, maybe I think the price for it won't be that bad. So yeah, how much would that thing cost? Like maybe $200? $250? Yeah. Trust me when I say I know a lot of us were thinking of that as well. But believe it or not, the actual price for the Nintendo Switch 2, as of now, is currently being listed at about $450. And that's mainly for the main console alone. While, of course, pretty much, if you get the console with, of course, pretty much a video game that's bundled into, of course, the Switch 2, that will go up to at least like about $500. Yeah, that's how much it actually costs hands down. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, yeah, I think for the, yeah, if you think the price for, of course, the console itself is ridiculous, you would not believe on how much it would actually cost for a single game on the Switch 2, hands down. Oh, excuse me, so yeah. I guess pretty much for what it is for one video game for the Switch 2, pretty much to pull pretty much a card from, of course, The Price is Right, the actual retail price for one Nintendo Switch 2 game is $80. Yeah. That, I'm not making that up for sure. That's literally how much one video game on the Switch 2 actually costs hands down. Only $80 for, of course, one video game for that said console, while the main console itself goes for about $450 on its own to right around $500 with, of course, the game bundled into it. Yeah. Given to what I've actually just said, yeah, pretty much the price for it is just absolutely ridiculous, hands down, so yeah, I guess pretty much of anything I did, I think I knew going into, of course, the Switch 2, I do have high anticipation for sure, but of course, when I actually learned about the price for that said console alone, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is actually pretty much not looking as great as I thought it was gonna go down for sure, so yeah, pretty much given to what I've actually seen by far, this really is quite surprising to be honest, and I think I do actually have every reason to, of course, react this way for sure, because yeah, pretty much of anything, yeah, like I said, pretty much for what it is, we do know video game consoles nowadays can be very expensive to actually afford for sure, because if anything, yeah, they can be quite expensive to be honest, so yeah, but either way, pretty much the companies that have actually make video game consoles do need to find a way to make a profit in order to stay relevant for sure, and I guess it is quite surprising that over the years, hands down, Nintendo has actually pretty much fared up a whole lot when it comes to their video games and their video game consoles over the years for sure. Going back a bit to when they first started out with, of course, the original Nintendo Entertainment System for sure, So yeah, and since then, they've actually been growing and evolving over the years for sure, pretty much still retaining, of course, pretty much, of course, plenty of their fans, both old and new, for sure, so yeah. Even I myself have actually stuck with Nintendo for a long time, pretty much ever since I was a kid, for sure, though technically I think I didn't get myself into the video game, pretty much realm myself right up until my family got our original Nintendo Wii system, pretty much for Christmas, and that was around the time it was pretty much a relatively new console around that time, so yeah. But I knew hands down that I definitely pretty much was quite fascinated with what video games have actually offered for sure, and I guess given to what I've actually seen, I'm really glad that video games have actually grown and evolved hands down. Hell, I dare even say that for plenty of conventions I've actually been to, I think I may have been to at least one or two video game conventions for sure, particularly my all-time favorite convention I love going to every year, Retro Game Con, so yeah. But I guess either way, pretty much, we do know, hands down, that over the years, Nintendo has actually been growing and evolving over the years, and I do want to see I do want to see them continue on for sure to bringing pretty much bringing a new audience that can really get themselves into it, hands down. And it's not just video games that they're well known for. They've actually had plenty of merchandise that they've sold over the years, and not to mention very recently, thanks to the recent Super Mario Brothers movie, they've actually got themselves right on the pretty much on the right foot when adapting their video game franchises into movies for sure. And again, thanks to the recent Super Mario Brothers movie, it looks like plenty more will be on the way very soon, so yeah. But I guess either way, for the Nintendo Switch 2, hands down, I really do think that said console does have a whole lot of potential in that, hands down, because really put that in perspective, it's actually taking on, of course, on what people really liked about the Nintendo Switch, yeah, the original Nintendo Switch console, even some parts of it that they didn't like, and I guess for the stuff they actually do like, they want to scale it up a notch to make it even more great, and the stuff they people didn't like about the original Switch, they want to see fixed, hands down, so yeah. I guess pretty much for what it is, I really do think the Nintendo Switch 2 seems to be going in that said direction, hands down, and given to all that, I really do think it does have a whole lot of potential from what I've actually seen, and based on what I've actually seen, based on when it was first revealed, I actually do want the pretty much this new console to actually succeed for sure, because yeah, much like Nintendo themselves, pretty much the Switch console does have every right to grow and evolve, hands down for sure. They really want to keep, of course, what makes the original so great for sure, but actually bring up to a whole new level that we can really love and admire, hands down. So I think it's pretty much what I think. Pretty much what I think of when I actually took a first glance of course, the original Switch for sure. So yeah, if that being the case for the original Switch, then that's exactly what I'm hoping for the Switch 2, hands down. So yeah. But I guess, if anything, with the current price where it's at right now, like about $450, yeah, pretty much of anything, it really is quite ridiculous, to be honest. But to put it in a perspective, from what I can gather, the OLED model for the original Nintendo Switch only costs like about $350 for sure. That's $100 less than the current price for the Switch 2 as we speak for sure. So yeah. So I guess going into all that hands down, we do know some pretty much our expectations will of course pretty much be at about an all-time high for sure. But as time progresses and we start to get more and more information, they do start to go get as low as they could go for sure. But yeah, either way, I think it is quite surprising given to all that for sure. So yeah, I mean, I guess in all honesty, pretty much from what I can gather on my perspective for sure, yeah, maybe I think $450 might be a little bit too much for, of course, pretty much for the Switch 2 hands out. I mean, with that kind of money that you can actually use in order to get that, I could have actually pretty much used that kind of money for and pretty much buy something else for hands out. Like, I could actually pretty much buy some groceries for me and my family for that could last about a couple months for sure. I could actually use it to actually pretty much put together a child's birthday party, complete with, of course, pretty much a full-on entertainment company with, of course, pretty much all the actors dressed as Disney princesses and stuff, something like that, and actually do it that way. Hell, I guess even for that matter, when going into the subject for video game consoles, hands down, I could have used that $450 for, let's say, for me to buy the digital version of the PS5 for sure. Yeah, you can definitely, yeah, you know the price for the Switch 2 is bad, that I much rather use that kind of money to buy the digital version of the PlayStation 5 more than the Switch 2. Except, I guess, for the sake of course, pretty much for the PS5, hands down, at least the digital version and the main console on its own does have a right to, of course, list those kind of prices hands down, with the digital version only costing about $450, while the main console itself only costing about $500 for sure. So yeah, at least they had an excuse to actually pretty much give that price for the PS5 hands down. And at least the games for that said console alone didn't cost about $70 to $80 for sure. So yeah. Yeah, I guess it's quite obvious the reactions for, of course, the price for the Switch 2. Yeah, let's just say they're pretty much on the same level as I'm feeling right now for sure. And I get it. I know Nintendo is actually trying their best to, of course, make this console as successful as they can. So, of course, they have to give that price for sure in order to really get themselves pretty much into full gear to really make back the money that they actually earned hands down. But honestly, I think they could have actually gave a much better price hands down for sure. So yeah. But like I said, pretty much to put it in perspective, pretty much the OLED model for the original Nintendo Switch only costs about $350 hands down. And I guess, if anything, it does have every right to be at that price alone, hands down, because it's actually more of a upscale version of the original Switch, hands down, for sure, compared to, of course, its predecessor, for sure. So honestly, I think given to what I've actually seen, maybe I think the people at Nintendo could have actually done a whole lot better to, of course, try to make a much better price range for the main console itself and the games for sure. So yeah. But yeah, I guess either way, I know hands down nobody, and I mean nobody, would ever want to, of course, pay about 450 bucks for a Switch 2 for sure. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe there might be several people out there who would actually, who actually do have that kind of money and actually can actually afford one for themselves for sure. But that's just me thinking at the top of my head for sure, because hey, we may never know. Pretty much from what I can gather for sure. So yeah. But I guess either way, with what I've actually seen, maybe I do think the Switch 2 could be a whole lot better if they actually gave it a much better price, hands down. What do I mean by this? Well, I do believe that there might be some way to actually fix that problem for sure, so that way people like us can actually afford to get pretty much get a Switch 2 for ourselves, hands down. Like let's take for example the games from what I can gather. Yeah, I think I know pretty much, if anything, about 80 bucks for, of course, one single Nintendo Switch 2 game from what I've actually seen. Yeah, it might be a little bit too much from what I can gather, but again, let's really put it in a perspective, hands down. Pretty much back when the Super Nintendo came out, for sure, they did actually have their video games probably listed at that price, hands down, for sure. And yeah, sure it was quite expensive back then, for sure, but then again, that was back in the 90s, for sure. We're now in the 2020s as we speak, so time has changed, for sure, and yeah, and there are some SNES games out there, for sure, that do cost a little lower, for sure, while some of the rare ones can actually go up for pretty much jack themselves up to full-on, pretty much hundreds to like thousands of dollars for sure. So yeah, but I think why I do think can actually work a whole lot better for the games for the Switch 2. Maybe I think cut it down to maybe about 30 bucks for one single game for sure. So that way, I think it could actually be a whole lot more affordable, hands down, for sure. So that way, if there's one video game that you really want to get for that console, for sure, that you've been anticipating for, and I think you look at the price and be like, yeah, 30 bucks, that's not that bad of a price. I think I could definitely afford it, so yeah, that's what I think should go down for, of course, maybe pretty much for the games for sure, while for the accessories that'll go alongside the console for sure, maybe I think give most of the consoles probably that $70 to $80 treatment, hands down. Yeah, pretty much take the price for the pretty much for one single Nintendo Switch 2 game and implement that for, of course, most of the accessories that'll go along with it for sure. Like, you can actually have one half of the accessories cost about 30 to 40 bucks for sure, while the rest you can actually jack them up to about $70 to $80 for sure. So yeah, that's what I think pretty much that's what I think should go down for most of the accessories for sure. Now you might be wondering to yourself, what about the main console itself? What do you think could be a much better price instead of $450 to $500? Well, for that, maybe I think they should probably cut the price for the Switch 2 down by half for sure. Yeah, like maybe pretty much have pretty much the main console on its own maybe cost like about $200 hands down, while for the console with the game bundled into it, you can definitely price it at about $250 for sure. So yeah, but either way, that's the actual price I want to set the Switch 2 where it's at for sure, because when I actually looked at the console itself from what I can gather based on the first reveal of it back all the way back in January for sure, I can definitely imagine that this could actually cost about $200 to $250 for sure. Almost the exact same price as the original Switch for sure. So yeah, that's what I think hands down for sure. But then again, that's just my speculation hands down. Now you might be saying to yourself, oh, the prices that you've actually said for all those hands down, who could actually afford that? Well, let's really keep this in mind, hands down. Let's go all the way back to, of course, when Nintendo actually released the Nintendo 3DS for sure. Pretty much all it is, for while it does actually look like pretty much a more upped-up version of the Nintendo Switch by adding in some 3D effects in it, just without any glasses, hands down, which actually is quite nice for sure. But the original price when they actually released it back in the day, yeah, that was of course one of the main reasons on why Nintendo is not making any money from, of course, the 3DS for sure. So, what did they do sometime after the 3DS's launch, hands down? Well, that's actually pretty simple. They cut the price down for the 3DS pretty much almost by like half for sure, and pretty much since then, the 3DS actually performed a whole lot better in sales for sure, right up until its end by the time the Nintendo Switch came into play for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened with the 3DS for sure. Yeah, it pretty much didn't perform very well with, of course, its original price back when it was first launch for sure. So Nintendo decided to cut the price down a bit, and thankfully, it performed a whole lot better, hands down. So yeah, if that being the case for, of course, the 3DS, then I can definitely imagine the same thing actually happening for the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, maybe within a matter of time after its launch, if it actually doesn't sell well as expected, Nintendo will actually go back to the drawing board from what I can gather, and actually cut down the price for the Switch 2, so that way it can be affordable to actually purchase for sure. So yeah, that's what I think hands down for sure. And that's amongst plenty of other features for the Nintendo Switch 2 that I really don't think actually work hands down, and maybe I think Nintendo should probably go back to the drawing board and actually reevaluate on what's been going on and why people are not liking some of the features for the Switch 2 and how they're going to improve it with pretty much an updated version of that said console later on. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think hands down for sure. So yeah, but honestly, I'm not giving any doubt to Nintendo at all for sure, because given to what I've actually seen, I really do think the Nintendo Switch 2 actually does have a whole lot of potential, and I really do want it to actually succeed in a way, because if anything, I really do think that there's a whole lot to offer with, of course, that Sega new console, hands down. I do want Nintendo to actually continue to grow and evolve, hands down, for sure, and with every single new game that they're releasing, and every single new piece of hardware that they actually put out, for sure, I really do want them to keep on growing and evolving and actually continue to be where they're at back when they first started, for sure. And I know that's saying a whole lot because, well, Nintendo, they're not perfect all the way. They have been in slumps before, hands down, similar to, let's say, Disney or Warner Brothers and every other company nowadays, for sure. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, with every single company out there selling a product, they do have their fair amount of successes, yes, but they also had some big failures at the same time. And that's okay. Pretty much with every single failure they've actually released, they can definitely learn from that and how they're going to implement, of course, what they can put out next to actually making pretty much very successful in a way, and will earn them lots and lots of money. So yeah, I think it'll be hard to say on how the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna do once it's actually launched, for sure. But I do hope that there might be something good, for sure, or I guess if anything, to quote pretty much Ghostbusters, maybe something good, something decent, something pure. So yeah, but that's just to name me a few from Viking Gather. So yeah, who knows what will happen, hands out. Maybe it might be as successful as the original Nintendo Switch and actually will sell a whole lot of units and actually continue to thrive every single time, for sure. Or maybe it might go the similar route as, say, the Wii U, for sure, and of course, it will actually lead to a drop in sales that will lead to Nintendo to actually think of course, what they can do for their next console that they want to put out to actually overshadow the failure of the Wii U. So yeah, it'll be hard to say, of course, what will go down, for sure, but I do hope Nintendo will probably pull off something pretty interesting for the Switch 2, for sure. And like I said, it'll be hard to say from what I can gather. Maybe it might turn out successful, or maybe it might fail big time. We may never know until later on down the road. So, well, as for me, yeah, I think pretty much given to everything that I've actually said, that would lead to the ultimate question. Am I still willing to get myself a Nintendo Switch 2 later on down the road? Actually, yes. Yes, I would. So yeah, I think with, of course, what I've actually seen by far, I am still determined that I would definitely love to have a Nintendo Switch 2 for sure. In fact, I even did say in my first video talking about the reveal of that said console alone, that I would definitely place it right alongside my original Switch for sure. So that way, so yeah, I could definitely have two different versions of course, or should I say two different consoles side by side one another for sure. So yeah. That's just to name me a few from Viking Gather, but I guess given to, of course, the current price for, of course, the Switch 2, I really don't think now would be a good time for me to actually get one for sure, because, well, I know I'm definitely working hard and earning tons and tons of money for sure, whether it be you guys supporting me on my Patreon, and of course, pretty much earning my paychecks for my job at Area 51 in the Crow's Nest Online. And even later on down the road with my future expansion plan, hands down for sure, whether it be I would finally launch a PayPal, a Venmo, a Ko-fi, enabling monetization on Instagram and TikTok, and that's just to name me a few for sure. And oh yeah, let's not forget to mention, aside from my Patreon, I still have my Amazon wishlist for you guys to gift me and stuff, which include gift cards for Amazon alone. I'm still willing to take those. And even my Streamlabs tipping page as well, that you can also support me on there for sure. So yeah, and that's just to name me a few from what I can gather. So yeah, I think I know I'm pretty much giving to all of that hands down. Maybe I think it might be best if I spend my money on something else and spend my money elsewhere for sure. So unless pretty much time is changing, maybe Nintendo might drop the price for the Switch 2 down a bit, so that way I can actually afford one. I don't think now would be a good time for me to get a Switch 2 for sure. Now, I'm not saying I'm avoiding that said console alone. I'm still willing to get one for sure. But with the price for it now for sure, I don't think maybe now would be a good time for me to finally get one. Maybe within a few months time, if it's actually perfect for it, maybe I could actually get one for sure. But for now, maybe now's not the time. But regardless on what I have to say, I'm still determined to get my hands on the Switch 2 later on down the road for sure. And I think with where we're at right now, hopefully I think Nintendo might actually, pretty much, if anything, might actually consider maybe taking up on what we got, or who knows, maybe it might win us over once again for sure. But only time will tell, of course, on that front. So yeah. Yeah, maybe now's not the good time for me to get one once it actually does come out for sure. But I do hope Nintendo will definitely blow us away with, of course, this with that said console alone for sure. And I guess pretty much of anything, for while I won't actually buy one right now for sure, I definitely know getting a Nintendo Switch 2 will definitely be something I will do later on down the road. So yeah, and I guess on that said quote alone, I think I'll definitely end this video here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and by all means, what do you think of course, pretty much on what I have to say about all this hands down. So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below on what you guys think for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, hands down, and don't worry, I will have plenty more coming up later on for sure. So hopefully, I think if I'm not too busy with other things, hands down, I'll definitely shoot to get another one of these out for sure. So yeah, but you'll definitely have to wait and see later on. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is SamAttack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up.
Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTACTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.